The death has been announced of the Duchess of Kent at the age of 92. She was best known for her long association with the Wimbledon Tennis Championships. And within the last hour, Buckingham Palace has confirmed the death of the Duchess of Kent at the age of 92. She was best known for handing out the prizes at Wimbledon each year before taking a job as a music teacher later on in life. Well, our royal correspondent Daniela Relf now looks back on her life.
Here she comes now, this most charming girl, isn't she sweet?
She was one of the first outsiders to join the British royal family in the post-war era. In June 1961 at York Minster, Catherine Worsley, the daughter of a Yorkshire landowner, married Prince Edward, Duke of Kent, grandson of King George V, first cousin to Elizabeth II. The bride was 28, marrying into a family which, at the time, yielded little to outsiders. But Catherine Worsley adapted to her royal role and brought qualities of warmth and compassion to it. The royal couple had 3 children, but another longed-for baby was stillborn. It was a period of intense emotional turmoil. The Duchess emerged after a 7-week stay in hospital for what palace officials described as nervous exhaustion.
Just half a cup, Mrs. Divins.
Yes, please.
There you are.
So.
Though she remained vulnerable to periods of deep depression, the Duchess found solace in her work with charities like the Samaritans and work with the elderly. She supported the lonely and the bereaved, and she was the first to show that royal dignity could be combined with displays of human tenderness. The Duchess also worked regularly and quietly with seriously ill children.
Our children are so happy. They give so much. They make you feel, you leave feeling so humble and so privileged. You really do. The courage they give you, the migraine you had when you arrived, you just forget about very quickly.
In many people's minds, the Duchess will be associated most with Wimbledon, where her husband was president for decades. Perhaps most famously comforting a tearful Jana Novotna, the losing finalist in 1993. A year later, the Duchess of Kent was received into the Roman Catholic Church, the first member of the royal family to convert in 300 years. But by now she had largely opted out from royal duties, even dropping her title of HRH. Instead, she found huge personal satisfaction as a qualified music teacher, teaching at state schools in London and Hull. She asked children to call her Katharine. Music had been a lifelong love.
I didn't change. You don't change just because you marry. And music was my passion when I was a child before I married, and it still is, and it's what I do from the heart.
The Duchess of Kent had found confidence and fulfilment in forging a role for herself beyond the confines of the royal family. Quietly, behind the scenes, she used her very human qualities to enrich the lives of others.
Well, let's talk now to our correspondent Helena Wilkinson. Helena, give us your sense of how the Duchess of Kent will be remembered.
Well, I think, Ben, the Duchess of Kent will be remembered as a member of the royal family who really managed to carve out an individual path while carrying out royal duties. As Daniela mentioned in her report, the Duchess of Kent will be remembered by many for her appearances at Wimbledon Tennis Championships, but it really was the charity work often that she did quietly behind the scenes that really brought her solace and also a huge amount of satisfaction. But she was hugely praised for that work that she did, and that is what she will be remembered for as well. She spoke about working with seriously ill children and how that made her feel. She said she felt so humbled by it, and she did a huge amount of work around music, young people and children, giving opportunities to them, improving their chances, those children who are disadvantaged and talented, giving them the opportunities with music and opportunities. Here at Buckingham Palace, Ben, you might be able to see the flag behind me has been lowered to half-mast. There is a period of royal mourning now, which will be until and including the Duchess's funeral.
Helena, many thanks. Helena Wilkinson reporting there from Buckingham Palace.
Tributes have been paid to the Duchess of Kent's tireless work to help others following her death at the age of 92. She was married to the late Queen's cousin, the Duke of Kent, and became a familiar face at Wimbledon, handing out the winner's trophy. And as our royal editor Chris Shipp reports, incredibly, she once worked undercover as a music teacher in a school in Hull.
As Buckingham Palace announced today that the oldest member of the royal family had passed away, the official notice, as is tradition, was displayed on the railings outside. Katharine Worsley, a Yorkshire woman through and through, joined the royal family when she married the late Queen's cousin, the Duke of Kent. Katharine chose York Minster for the ceremony, a first royal wedding there for 600 years. She was a young and glamorous addition to the monarchy in the 60s, put to work on behalf of Queen Elizabeth, here returning from a royal tour to Canada. Popular and widely recognised, and the royal chosen in 1968 to open the new ITV franchise, Yorkshire Television.
It gives me great pleasure to initiate this first broadcast.
This Duchess never rocked the boat, but she did do things her way. In 1994, she asked and received permission from Queen Elizabeth to convert to Catholicism. The Duke and Duchess did not have to give up their place in the line of succession, however, as the law then demanded, because Catherine was Anglican when they married.
She wasn't a rebel, you know, she did what she wanted, but she was always very conscious of her position and you know, never wanted to upset the Queen, and nor did she upset her.
Her most unconventional step, however, was to teach music, her greatest passion, at a state primary school in Hull. Not as a royal, but as Mrs. Kent. For more than a decade there, the staff and pupils did not know who she was.
She was just simply Mrs. Kent. She was just part of the staff team on that day when she came into school and taught.
I learnt more from these children than I ever taught them. They taught me. It's just indescribable. I mean that absolutely sincerely.
And many will remember her from Wimbledon. For years she presented trophies and famously offered compassion to an emotional Jana Novotna in 1993 after she'd been defeated. In so many ways, a groundbreaking royal, and a humble one too.
The Duchess of Kent, who's died at the age of 92.